So welcome everybody to another month of Gathering Update Zooms. As you guys prepare for the 2025 LCMS Youth Gathering in New Orleans, we'll be walking alongside you guys virtually, of course, as you prepare your group to attend Endure next summer. Just a reminder for you guys, we will continue to host these Gathering Update Zooms leading all the way up to the gathering on the second Thursday of each month. Oh, you're good.
There it is.
Each month, yep. We'll have 30 minutes of information at 7, and then we'll take a short little break, stop the recording, and then we'll have 30 minutes of office hours where you can connect with our staff and talk about or ask your questions that are maybe not specific to the presentation tonight. In case you miss a month, we know there's a lot of people out for Ascension Day worship activities at their congregations tonight, or you want to share this recording with other adult leaders in your group, or maybe you miss it because you have some other responsibilities. We always do a recording of the information portion only, and we post it on YouTube and in the LCMS Youth Ministry Facebook group, usually the next day. So if you miss one and you want to share it, be on the lookout for that the next day. We know that there's a number of people out again for Ascension Day, so we're especially thankful for you guys for taking the time tonight to watch live, or if you're watching later, to tune in later.
Yeah. I'm Juliana Schultz.
I'm Meredith Smith
from the LCMS Youth Ministry office. And we are going to continue to keep you updated in all sorts of places, but for tonight, we're going to dive into a topic and meet your district coordinators, or at least some of your district coordinators, and talk a little bit about what a district coordinator is. If you look at the different screens that you're seeing a lot more cameras than you usually do. I know I'm seeing a lot more cameras than I usually, which I love. And you'll notice that some of them are labeled with a district name. So some of those people are going to be your district coordinators. Maybe you've looked on the website and seen those updated. Maybe you haven't. Or you can follow the QR code here. But if you're watching us on the update, you can always go to the website and be able to find most of their pictures there. Or if you're with us live, you can be looking around at those cameras trying to find your district coordinator here with us.
And we know not all of them are here tonight, so make sure you have bookmarked that page on the Gathering website to connect with them at a later time. So if you're new to gathering planning, you might be wondering, district coordinator, what is that? If you're part of the LCMS, you are part of a district.
We are.
You are part of
everybody.
One of the 35 districts in the LCMS. If you can put up that map.
Ooh, I can. There we go.
So we have a map of all the 35 districts of the LCMS, and there are 2 non-geographic districts, the SELC and the English district, which are kind of scattered throughout all of these colorful districts. And the reason this map is color-coded is because along with the 35 districts, there is also 5 different regions. And you're going to learn why that's important to know later on when we talk about the district zone.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm going to leave this up for just a second. So some of you are like frantically remembering all your states and state capitals, remember where you are in the United States, figuring out which district you're a part of and then what region you're a part of. And then we have a person who is given to us from every district. Why is it going backwards? What? No, is that right? Okay. That serves as a district coordinator. So what does that mean? Well, that district coordinator is going to serve as sort of a liaison between us and the district office. District offices have district presidents, people who serve the schools, missions, all sorts of different things. And so they're going to work between us and that district office. Maybe your district might have a youth board or committee that they would work with, and then with the congregations in that district for the 2025 LCMS Youth Gathering. One of their key jobs is to equip you as adult leaders within that district with meetings, video conferences, videos, encouragement, mentorship, all sorts of communication supplied by the district to help you to be able to have an amazing gathering experience. And so they're there to serve you. They're there to communicate with us in the district. They're a great resource that you can utilize as a part of your gathering planning process.
Yeah, as much as we wish we could be in all the districts at all the
know.
time.
It would be amazing to be closer to everyone, and it would be fantastic for us to be able to get to every district to talk to each and every one of you about the gathering process, but that is a little bit.
I will tell you, people in different states are gonna know their states and their congregations way better than I will.
Right? For sure. They're going to be able to do things like it's more than just maybe just answering a few questions or here or there. So some of the things that your district coordinator is going to do, they're going to help coordinate and assist with transportation plans. This is not true for every district, right? So you're going to have some districts where that's not the case. But for some of our districts, that district coordinator does serve to help come up with kind of a group transportation plan. So I know when I was an adult leader bringing young people from the Northern Illinois district, we were able to coordinate with our district coordinator, and they were able to help get us on a bus with other churches to help us have a low-cost way of getting to San Antonio, which was fantastic. So some of your district coordinators will be reaching out with information like that. All of your district coordinators are going to help coordinate a special district event that happens at the gathering. And then we're going to help kind of support them, make sure that everybody knows about those things, that it's in line with what we're doing at the gathering. And then they're going to also put together district materials, things like banners and t-shirts and buttons and hats, depending on your district, for your participants at the gathering. So it's a great way for you to be able to have shirts that represent your district or buttons or whatever your district has, and be able to find each other, find other people from your district all around the gathering.
So as I mentioned earlier, we've made it easier than ever to connect with your district coordinators. If your district coordinator is here in the Zoom, you can connect with them via chat, or again, the website is on your screen or it's in the chat that you can go and connect with them via email and start the conversation that way. If your district on the Gathering website has an image that says information pending, that means we're working with your district to find that district coordinator and make those connections so we can get it up on the website. If you scroll to the very bottom of that web page, we do encourage you to connect with our district coordinator manager, Scott Gunther. He is also on this Zoom tonight, so if you are looking just to connect and see if there's any other churches in your area, while we wait to get a district coordinator in a couple of those different districts, feel free to reach out to him and connect with him to see what connections you can already start making in your district with him. And as we get closer to the gathering, we will be updating your district information with some of those district events. That'll come a little bit closer to the gathering, so we're not the experts on district events, we just put them on the Gathering website. So that's really one of those great reasons to connect with your district coordinator if you're ready to find out information about that. They were just in New Orleans a couple weeks ago, checking out all the venues that you can have district events at. So we're really excited, they're really excited to talk about those district events with you guys and start making those plans.
So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about district events.
Yes, they're super fun, first of all.
They are fantastic, right? You know, the district events are an opportunity for districts to gather, to talk, to affirm their young people and their adult leaders, to promote youth ministry specifically in your district. So every district event is going to look a little different. Part of that is because there's a different number of churches and congregations coming from every district. And sometimes districts will band together to have those kinds of things, but really that event is there to help network you, for young people to get to connect. Not just across the entire United States, with young people who are a little bit closer to home for them, right? So people who are a little bit closer to them. And it's a chance for you guys to have a little bit of extra fun while you're there. Almost all the districts do some sort of district event, that's gonna vary. And one of the things that we wanna do is to let you know that like those aren't necessarily going to overlap with gathering programming.
Correct.
And that registration will happen at a later date, but more information is going to be available. Your district coordinator is going to be the one who's going to make sure that you get that information. That they're going to be able to get you that information as that registration opens up. The district events, again, some of them are happen before, so they might happen on a Saturday in the afternoon beforehand, during or after the gathering. So they're not going to interfere with your gathering programming, but you might want to be aware of those if you can, before you make some of your travel plans, right? Because nobody wants to miss their district event because they did the travel plan and they're not gonna be in time or they're leaving too early. So that might be something to consider when you're thinking about your travel plans.
And while each district does stuff a little bit differently, typically district events do include some sort of meal option at their event, whether you're doing a dinner option or a lunch option, or I think some groups in the past have done like dessert or like ice cream bars. So you can expect to have something like that at most of your events. A lot of districts will do a district t-shirt, so you can easily identify where your big group is and find people from your district that you can connect with. And again, there's usually an extra registration cost with that, so when you start looking at the Gathering website and district event information starts coming up, each district has been encouraged to have either like a web page or a landing page or some kind of form that you guys can fill out and put all that information in. That is not done in the Gathering office, so we really do encourage you guys to check on that district coordinator webpage as we get closer to the Gathering to make sure that you are registered for your district event and have paid the extra registration cost that it might be.
Yeah. So then the next thing you're gonna see your district coordinators work on is the district zone. If you are a longtime adult leader, you might remember back when every district had their own booth, right? And that happened for a long time. We've actually consolidated that into something called the district zone. This is gonna be on your interactive floor in the convention center, and it's gonna be open at kind of 10 to 6 during the daytime programming. And the zone provides an opportunity for young people to learn about their district and the regional structure, to connect with their district, then also to meet all of the other districts and their representatives that are gonna be there. And as an added bonus, you're gonna be able to get swag from all other kinds of districts. You're gonna be able to, they have a whole system where you're gonna be able to walk through, you're gonna get to meet representatives from every district. They get a stamp if they ask a trivia question, or they answer it. They don't get to ask it, they answer a trivia question
Correctly.
They get a little stamp, and if they get all of their stamps, then they're gonna be able to be eligible to win some big prizes. So it's a great incentive for them to be able to be there. So the district zone's a place that you're gonna want all your young people to go and connect, not just with your districts, but with the other districts and the regions, and we're coordinating them by region. So there'll be 5 different activities with all the different regions for them to be able to do while they're there as well.
So if you attended the Gathering in 2022, we're kind of doing it off of the same model, correct?
Yeah.
We'll go through, if you remember, if you were in 2022, you had a like bingo card in your guidebook. So you wanna make sure that your young people are carrying their guidebook with them so they can get those stamps, and I've heard there might be like some gift cards involved.
There are gonna be gift cards involved.
I wish I could play.
I know, it's fantastic, and it gives young people, like, I think one of the great things about the Gathering, right, is you get 20,000 people to like feel like, you know, the enormity of the church, but also this helps them kind of break down a little bit more of that to be able to see like what that looks like in lots of different places, and particularly in where they're at, so that they're like, okay, I see lots and lots of people, but like these, you know, 1,000 people are actually really close to me in my state or in my region.
Alright, so one question that we have seen from not only our adult leaders, but we also talked with our district coordinators at their training the other week of what kind of questions have they gotten in the past. And one thing that we really wanted to make sure was clear for our adult leaders was what you can contact your district coordinator for versus what you should contact the Gathering office for. So your district coordinators are really great resources, but sometimes there are some things that you just have to call the Gathering office for.
Yeah. So what might you contact your district coordinator for? Well, the big one's gonna be your district event questions, right? So if you wanna know more about anything that's happening at your district event, that is not something we're gonna have information on. We will be able to point you back to your district coordinator, but that is something your district coordinator is gonna have. It's gonna be anything connected to a district t-shirt. I will not know. I love seeing district t-shirts, but I will not know anything about your district t-shirt.
If you want to include Juliana and I in your district t-shirts, we would love that.
I say that, and now I'm gonna have like a whole lot extra. But
I think I got the Texas district last time.
Yeah, there's some cool some very cool district t-shirts. If you are connecting about district travel opportunities or are interested in that, again, that's something your district coordinator is gonna do. One of the key things your district coordinator can help you with is they're gonna have information from us on who in your district is gonna be attending the gathering. And so one of the things they're gonna be able to do is connect you with other churches. So even if they're not doing big group travel, they might be able to tell you if churches nearby where you are gonna be coming to the gathering as well. That's important because sometimes we'll have churches that are pretty small, or they have smaller groups, or they have a hard time getting enough adult leaders, and they wanna coordinate with another church to be able to come to the gathering. Or they're just looking for a bigger group for their young people so that they have a couple extra people with them. And so what your district coordinator can help you do is identify churches that are nearby you that might be willing to either, one, just travel with you, which is always fun, or two, to be able to join in that registration with you. So you'll register as two different churches, but we'll put those registrations together so that you're in the same hotel and you're connected. You're gonna be sitting together at mass events for assigned seating, that kind of a thing, so that you can work collaboratively with another church. So district coordinators are great for that. If you're new to the gathering planning and you really wanna sit down and kind of hash out, you're like, I don't know, this Meredith and Juliana, these chicks that I don't know what we're talking about, I'm so confused, right? If this is the situation, right, your district coordinators are gonna be great, they're gonna be able to walk you through those things. Hopefully some of them will be doing some adult leader meetings just for your district, which might be a little more comfortable asking questions and clarifying things, so they're gonna have information to be able to do that.
Also might be really great if you are a called church worker and you take a call before the next gathering
Right.
into a district that you are not very familiar with.
Absolutely, right? So those district coordinators are gonna be able to help connect you and have some conversation with you. And then also, if you're coming to national, a lot of, not all of them, but some of our district coordinators are gonna be there, and they're gonna be able to connect you with other adult leaders in your area at the conference, which can be really important. Networking between youth leaders is really important and can be really helpful, not just in gathering planning, but just in youth ministry in general. And so these are people that are well connected, that are gonna help you to connect with other adult leaders who are gonna be nearby you, who maybe can be great pals. And then
National's a little bit smaller of a group.
right,
It's
that
a
they're
little
gonna
bit easier.
share your beignets if you're willing to share them. I don't know. Maybe mushroom beignets. Somebody who's gonna go to Cafe Du Monde with you, right, at National. This is a great thing for you to be able to do. So these are the kinds of things that you're gonna want to take up with your district coordinator if those are the kind of questions you have. Meredith, when might they talk to us?
So some other reasons why you might get connected with us, we also have these gathering office hours that we've been hosting after the update lives. After each one, we stick on for 30 minutes. That's a great time to come and ask us any generic gathering questions that maybe don't have to do with the topic that we talked about that evening. You can always email nygregistration@lcms.org. That is probably one of the best ways to get in contact with us, because even if we're not at the office or we're at a planning meeting, we can check that email and be able to respond to you as quickly as possible. If you want to pick up the phone and give us a phone call, that's a really good way to get those congregation-specific questions. And that's where we talk about congregation-specific questions are very, very specific to your congregation. It's not a big group question. You have a question about, I'm not sure what kind of question it would be off the top of my head.
As like a congregational specific one?
Yes.
So let's say, hey, we're thinking about, or we're considering bringing somebody to the gathering who might have some special needs. Can you tell me about what some kind of accommodations you might make? Or, hey, we're trying to figure out about location-specific, hotel-specific information.
Sure.
We're trying to figure out how many hotel rooms do we need, that kind of a thing, and what does that look like? Yeah.
Sometimes it is easiest to just pick up the phone and give us a call. And then finally, if you have general advice or questions that you would want to hear from other adult leaders, maybe some of those experienced veteran adult leaders who have been to a gathering or two, or you want an additional way to connect with your district coordinator or the youth ministry staff, you can connect with them in the LCMS Youth Ministry Facebook group. This is the best way to connect with us. We'll put a disclaimer that if you message any of the staff on their personal social media, We're not obligated to answer it, we probably won't answer it.
Unreliable, is what I'm gonna say about my response to anybody, not just you guys, anybody on Facebook Messenger. Yeah.
So if you want to connect with us, the best way to do that is in that LCMS Youth Ministry Facebook group. But again, if you have those specific questions, connect with your district coordinator, connect with the youth gathering office. And if you just want some advice or you want to talk through some ideas, that Facebook group is filled with a lot of great people who are willing to jump in and help you guys as you're doing your gathering planning.
So think about it this way, right? So like, there might be questions that are really fantastic for that Facebook group, like fundraising ideas, right?
Yes.
Or I'm trying to recruit adult leaders. What does that look like? Something that's really general. But if you're asking like specific travel things, sometimes that's really easily done at your district level because those people are all kind of traveling the same distance. Right.
Yes.
And generally the same way, right? So some of those questions are more helpful in district coordinators.
Yes.
Anybody you ask, we're gonna try and be as helpful as we possibly can,
Yes.
right? So just if in doubt, ask literally anyone. We're here to help you, right? District coordinators and our staff as well. One of the things we do want to make sure that you do is that you bookmark the gathering website. Meredith always has new stuff going on the gathering website. We're trying to put up new adult leaders right now. If you want to look, you can find all your district coordinators. As that information gets updated, certainly those are going to go up. So again, if you see that you don't have a district coordinator yet, it's still pending. Don't worry, as soon as you have one, we're going to be able to put that up for you to be able to look at.
And we're always updating the gathering website. Since our last time together, we have updated our FAQs. And if you have somebody in your congregation that has applied to be an ambassador, we've updated their FAQs, and we are gearing up for the young adult volunteer application to open this summer. So if you have any young people, college age students that are coming home from their spring semester, point them to the gathering website and they can start getting those questions answered about if they want to serve starting this summer, they can send their applications in. So it's really important to bookmark that gathering website.
And as we gear up for registration later on, the gathering website is going to be the home for all of your gathering resources, like your registration book, your Gathering 101 materials. So we are working diligently on those. Again, sometimes I know some of you are already asking some really great questions about registration. We want to make sure that we give you clear answers that hopefully aren't going to change too tremendously.
Right.
And so that we need a little more time on those things, but they should be coming up really soon this summer.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic. Again, and then if you're going to meet your district coordinators.
That's just one more reminder.
One more reminder.
We really want you guys to connect with your district coordinator. Just a simple hello via email so they know who you are, know your congregation, know where you're at. And if you do already know that you want to travel with another group or you are open to doing something like that, it's good to let them know ahead of time versus trying to figure it out last minute.
Yeah. Fantastic. I see somebody saying they already have students asking about YAB applications. This summer, keep them excited. That'll be open up this summer and we'll let them get those registrations in, and it'll be open through the end of the year. So they still have some time. If you have some who are excited but they're not really sure what next summer is going to bring, I know some of them are, lots can change in 6 months for a young adult, but we do want as many of them to come and join us as possible. All right, man.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
So your district coordinators, as we mentioned, if you've gathered anything from this update, is that they're a great resource for general gathering questions. As we mentioned earlier, they were trained extensively for the 2025 gathering, and many of them have previous gathering experience, not only as a district coordinator, but also as maybe a planner or a volunteer or an adult leader themselves. So please feel free to reach out to them with your questions. And we know that those folks are eager to answer your questions and get connected with you to help you guys to attend the gathering in New Orleans. We have a few minutes, we have about 4 minutes that we can take some questions. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the chat.
Yeah. So you guys can leave those questions. I have seen you guys are already connecting with your district coordinators in the chat. I'm loving this. Our district coordinators are already on top of that, responding to some questions. I don't know if I just saw somebody, like they're already talking their district event in the chat. Maybe y'all are private messaging them. Any general questions about your district coordinator that we can answer for you?
I saw somebody mention MULADs on here,
I
so
know, I want you to be a part of that.
please invite us.
Yes, please and thank you. No, I love our district coordinator. It was so fantastic to be able to see them in New Orleans and give them a taste of the city in advance. Yeah, we really appreciate their dedication to making sure that you guys have a great, fantastic gathering experience. And so this is a really important part of that.
And if you saw the picture we posted of them on our social media, it might give some groups a little sneak peek of what their district event could be. So if you didn't see that photo, feel free to go back on Gathering social media and find it. We can't promise that your district event is going to be there, but some of you guys might.
Some of you
guys might know what it is.
Right? I'm not seeing too many questions. District coordinators, anything, drop in the chat, anything that we missed that you want us to make sure that we talk about? I'm getting some no's. Everybody's feeling good about it. All right. Well, that being said, then, with seeing no more questions, at least for this moment, we will see you guys next month. It'll be June 13th. We'll be talking about selecting your adult leaders and training your adult leaders and all different components of that. That's going to be a resource coming out really soon. And then fundraising, right, which we know is a big thing, and people are kind of kicking into gear on that. And so bring your best fundraising ideas. We have 104 of them, but we could always use some more. So maybe bring your best fundraising ideas with you next month.
Yes. Thank you guys for taking the step in this gathering planning process. We continue to pray for you and your youth and your congregation as you prepare to attend Endure in 2025. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to your district coordinator or the LCMS Youth Ministry office or the LCMS Youth Ministry Facebook group or by email at nygregistration@lcms.org.